Space nerds! Welcome to the new studio. I am in the middle of a rebuild, so I'm a bit late. But what's an extra day, right? The new Hull B has been dropped. I've seen a couple pictures. This is looking like a good ship, but I haven't heard the details. And honestly, there's a lot of possibilities with this kind of ship. So I'm gonna jump right in and we'll talk about it as we go through. The newest cargo hauling ship coming to Star Citizen. So clearly, already off the bat, I was wrong about the cargo grids from the other one. They obviously were using the body of the Hull B with the cargo grids from the one that they called the 404 at the time. This already looks amazing though. Honestly, and the ability to load so much at the same time is... they're getting better.
The Hull B is our premium medium freight ship in the universe. It's capable of carrying a significant amount of cargo between stations within a...
Wait a second. This is actually kind of iconic looking. Like this goes beyond just being a nice redesign of the Hull series, and this looks like a proper cargo hauling ship that will be known as a cargo hauling ship in Star Citizen, you know? Super, very unique. It reminds me of the Orion, actually, kind of the way it's holding it.
Significant amount of cargo between stations within a system or across multiple solar systems.
It sits between the Hull A, which is kind of your entry into the cargo hauling profession, and
low
the
flying,
Hull C, which is kind of big, serious interstellar cargo hauling runs.
He's wrong. The Hull A is a dogfighter.
In terms of scaling and role, the Hull B is closer to the Hull A in terms of gameplay flow and mechanics, without the challenges of the more complicated setup and flow of the Hull C.
This is like the perfect size for a cargo hauler for a few people. 512 SCU, man. Ooh!
When you first look at the Hull B, you definitely know it's a MISC ship. MISC is a high-end industrial manufacturer.
Very phallic also.
It's a very clean art style.
Dude.
Visually, you kind of got these really like large, clean, panelled, kind of bulbous shapes.
Think
trying
about
not to say
the
phallic.
aesthetic of the 50s and bring it to a more futuristic.
You've got these really large, heavy-duty landing gear. You can clearly see it being built to take a lot of weight.
I can't help but see somebody standing with their feet pointed inward. Like that's the landing. Like somebody's just standing there like this. I'm landed. Look at this. I can like get up and stuff now. So much
really
space.
Large, heavy-duty landing gear. You can clearly see it being built to take a lot of weight.
And then move along the top, and there's some really nice detail, some nice ribbing where the remote turret sits. Continuing along the top, there's a nice spoiler towards the rear.
When you see this
Gotta have the MISC spoiler.
ship collapse, it feels almost like a little shuttle that could fly about. But then as you start to look at the back, you've got these massive engines on the rear of it, and then that gives you a bit of a visual indication that maybe there's something a bit more to the ship than what you see at first glance.
I like that. Does that mean that we're gonna be racing in Hull Bs? See, if this is truly a sim of the systems, and I mean like gameplay systems, then they better be able to, we should be able to overspeed this thing when it's not laid in with the booty, right?
Much like the rest of the Hull series, it has a compacting and extending spindle in the center section that allows...
That's a nice animation. It's kind of funny that it's not that impressive now because the Hull C came, but when the Hull C had its animation, it was like, holy crap, that's incredible. This one looks even better.
Much like the rest of the Hull series, it
folds
has a
and
compacting
twists.
and extending spindle in the center
Turns,
section that allows
pizza
the ship to have a
trays.
smaller silhouette and shape when not carrying cargo, and then expanding out to carry the maximum amount of cargo.
Dude, I can't get over the landing gear.
It's quite a marvel of engineering in how much spindle and cargo grid we've managed to fit into such a small space when it's
Dude,
collapsed.
what? Who came up with that? That's a ridiculous animation. I'm sorry, I can't get over it.
It's quite a marvel of engineering in how much spindle and cargo grid we've managed to fit into such a small space when it's collapsed.
I almost feel like they should be solar
It holds
panels.
512 SCU of cargo, up to 16 to 32 SCU crates. You can either load the cargo manually with handheld tractor beams, or the co-pilot has access to 2 front-facing remote tractor beam turrets.
I'm sorry, I can't get over how good this looks to load. I think the only difficulty is going to be when you have boxes in these middle sections and you're trying to get a box up here into this top row. But I can't wait to try this out in game and see how it actually plays.
Or the co-pilot has access to 2 front-facing remote tractor beam turrets in order to load cargo from within the vehicle.
External cargo has the great benefit that it is by far the quickest to load. And
The thruster layout also looks great on the back. Just makes me feel more and more bad about the MSR's thruster layout.
unload. You can simply rock up to a location.
Not bad
and use
tractor
the
beam
tractor beams
placement.
on the ship to attach and detach cargo, rather than having to thread these larger, especially the 32 SE containers, through restricted doorways at the back of ships. So you have to be smart about where you use the Hull B. It's quick to load, but also if you find yourself in a tricky situation, it's very quick for someone else to unload it for you. When it was first announced, it was promised to be able to land with its full capacity of cargo. However, over time, the cargo system changed, the design of ships have changed. And when you look at the Hull A and the Hull C, they have a sort of cross arrangement. And doing this for the Hull B and the stated amount of cargo that it serves.
Oh man, I love spaceships, dude. I'm digging I'm really digging the way that this series is turning out. I mean, not in terms of functionality. The Hull C is kind of our worst enemy, but looks-wise and evolution-wise, this is awesome. I wonder if they're going to do a different design for the D&E now.
Start. It just simply couldn't land without having the most comical, super long, gangly legs. So from that point onwards, we went back to concept, had multiple iterations of different cargo arrangements to suit the new capacity, and we settled on moving from the cross arrangement to rotating it 45 degrees into the X arrangement you see today.
And it still looks really good when it's opened or closed, but it's still able to hold all of its cargo when landed.
Well done.
The Hull B is great in that you can load it from both within hangars and external freight elevators. And then in the future, we want to allow you to be able to also use the facilities of docking, so you can truly load it from anywhere with any sort of cargo. Another advantage of the Hull B compared to, say, the Caterpillar, which has a very similar amount of cargo capacity, is the Caterpillar is a large hangar and the Hull B is a medium. So you have more accessible locations to land throughout the universe, being that there are more medium hangars in general than large.
That's not bad either. That's not
You walk
bad.
into the entrance area, which
Honestly, I think that's one of the biggest things
Has
with
our
one of the biggest things with the way that this game's going to continue to develop. As weird as it is to say, as much as it pains me to say, we are early. We're still early in the game's development. And that's because they spent so much time building the engine, but you can see by the way that they're building out these ships, by the way they're starting to talk about them, their actual benefits and drawbacks, that the stuff that makes a difference is being considered. VTOL thruster is going to matter. Control surface is going to matter. Exterior versus interior cargo. All these things stack up to make an actual reason to pick up a ship instead of just being like, hey, it's got the most guns and going for it. It's nice because we get to move away from a meta for everything and more towards a what works for you. What do you vibe with? And I like that. I hope that this works out. We got to get hands-on with this first to see how it actually plays, though.
There are more medium hangars in general than large.
you walk into the entrance area, which has our 2 suit lockers, a weapon locker, and a small bench to prepare yourself for leaving the ship. Coming up the personnel lift, to your left is a door to engineering. This houses most of the major components for the ship and the engineering screen.
Center stage in there is the big mechanism that allows the ship to retract and extend its cargo grid.
Heading to your right from the personnel lift, you walk into the main corridor. This is a main thoroughfare of the ship. This also houses some of the other components. To one side is a mess hall.
You have a 2-seat table and a kitchenette.
On the opposite side of the corridor is the habitation area.
When you get in, you have like a bunk bed on your left, nice desk with its fridge and some shelves. You also have on the right space on the wall to hang up posters, and then the bathroom door.
So definitely a 2-person. Probably 3, if you want some extra help, but it's built for 2 on a long journey, and this is going to be taking some long journeys.
As you enter into the bridge of the ship, as soon as you walk in, you know you're in a MISC ship. I know
Why? Because you got that mailbox?
dashboards can be a little bit divisive. Maybe,
Sorry, mailbox is what people call the glass in here, because it's like a mailbox slot. This one doesn't look too bad. You need nice panoramic, dude. But MISC has like really big dashboards, really slim windows, and super bulbous, silvery looks. That's their thing. That's what I know them for.
As you enter into the bridge of the ship, as soon as you walk in, you know you're in a MISC ship. I know the MISC dashboards can be a little bit divisive. Maybe, on some of our previous ships, we maybe pushed the size of the dashboard a little bit too far. So it's something we're quite conscious of with the Hull B. But we have pushed the pilot and the co-pilot seat further forward. So you're kind of sat more into that letterbox, just to give you better visibility out.
Yeah, look at that. You can see all the way to the top of the screen now. I actually saw somebody literally call out the view of where the pilots were in the fake trailer in ISC last week, and they were like, they don't ever change. Like, dude, that's too early to make the call. I'm glad that they updated this, but we'll have to see if it actually makes a big difference in game.
More into that letterbox, just to give you
.7.1. Why is that? I mean, I know that they've called it the cargo something or rather kind of update, Captains of Industry. Let's see though. What's the reasoning behind this? Coinciding with the launch of the Hull B, the latest addition to MISC's ubiquitous cargo series, we're shining a light on the haulers, salvagers, and miners. United Resource workers salute you in solidarity as you chart a course towards your next contract and offer essential trade. So I think this is just relaunching the trade missions. So they got cargo careers now being split into, I think, 3 different tiers. You got courier missions for really small things. You got delivery missions for kind of like anywhere from 4 to 10, 12 SCU, a few boxes. And then you got hauling missions for the big boys like this. Got your resource gathering missions if you want to get around on ground level. Mining and salvaging are where it belongs. Begins. Gathering the raw materials that build ships, fuel economies, metals, and reclaimed components. Resource gathering always yields results and places you at the foundation of our verse. What do you go to? Oh, these are sending us to gameplay guides. Solid, dude. They are getting better about actually explaining things. You still have to go to the website to find it, but at least the information is... Dude, is this new? No. This has been, they've probably had this for a little while. They're starting to fill out the guides though, for the stuff that you can do in the game, which is actually pretty important. We don't read, of course, but at the very least, this gives people a chance to link and send folks stuff about, like, what can I do in the game? Here you go. Workers, paints, and gears. Any industrialist worth their salt knows their gear is a reflection of their trade. Tomatoes are great with salt, dude. Show the verse how you do business with the new Keystone tractor beam and armor. All right, so we got some... That's a UTV. They're just popping the UTV out in here. Is it also in this update? Oh! What? Pretty cool. Yeah, they're... Wow, dude. They're getting it. They are starting to really get it with the deliveries of these things. You can feel the... Okay, this actually makes a lot of sense. With the hindsight of the 2024 podcast should be out on the channel around in like 2 days, 1 day, 2 days, I think on Friday. I'll also be putting out a main channel video about this, but they actually hired more people in 2024 for marketing than they did for development. And I'm not going to say that they do that every year or that there's a specific reason they did that, other than that, you know, they needed to make a lot of money in 2025, which they did. I think it worked out. But what you can also tell is that there's a lot more effort going into these releases. It's not just about Invictus and IAE anymore. It's about every month or every 2 months. What ship is coming? What's it themed around? What's it going to deliver? How do we explain that there's more gameplay for people who are interested in that ship? This is something I've been wanting them to do for years. I actually meant to make a video about it one day, but never did. Theming updates is going to be so helpful for this game to meet more people and keep more momentum. And the Greycat UTV, I guess they're dropping this in the same patch. We'll go over this as well, but I'll save another video for this one. It's going to be an all-terrain 2-seater that can carry a box. I think it's going to be an incredibly useful vehicle for the frontier, for going out and doing combat, like little missions and different outposts and stuff, especially as Starkitect comes online and we have a lot more driving to do. $35. Not worth buying for money, but I think this is going to be a winner in game. Either way, we're in the age of industry, baby. Crafting is here. Engineering is here. Cargo hauling is getting more focus. Yeah, there might be combat and a lot of contracts and stuff. I don't blame you if you kind of are sick of that. I understand. I'm kind of tired of it too. I want to see more creativity in the challenges and the things they can do for the game. But guys, it's happening. At least in terms of the features and the actual content drops, industry is starting to be a focus, and it feels good. This is where I stay. This is my main sort of thing. So you'll find me being very excited for this. I'll cover a lot of it. We'll put out some gameplay, and if you're in GII, come join us. We got a lot of mining and other things going on that I'm sure you'll enjoy. Either way, thanks for checking this one out. I got to go back to finishing this off. Should be back in a day or two, and I'll give you guys a full tour. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.